Hey guys, welcome to the Mississippi 4.
1-1.
We're glad you're back. We're going to try to be brief today. There's only a couple bills that we want to hit. Right now we are still wading through the Senate bills.
Right. And Wednesday's the deadline for general bills that have exchanged houses for the Senate that we're considering, the Senate bills we're considering in the House, and the House bills that they've considered in the Senate. Wednesday's the deadline for that.
Yeah, they've been killing a lot of stuff out of the House, and then we're getting the exact same bills back from the Senate.
Unless your initials are HF.
Right. I didn't catch that one.
Well, I'll tell you later.
But I mean, yes, dysfunctionality exists in all houses, not just personal ones, and so.
But Dan and I are fighting the good fight.
We're fighting a good fight. We're fighting for you guys. We're fighting for our families, and we're here to just kind of get you up to date. Oh, hey, we are in the Ways and Means room here on the House side.
Appropriations.
Oh, you sure?
Yes, we're in
All right.
appropriations.
All right. So let me give
Ways
you.
and Means is on the other end of the hall.
Give you a little view. Kind of hard to spin my laptop around. Okay. All right. So you want to tell them what appropriations does?
This is where all the money gets appropriated.
That's right. Ways and Means, they have to figure out a way to get it out of your pocket, and appropriations, they have to figure out how they're going to spend it. So that it comes through here. This is where they meet.
And yeah, so that.
All right. So last week, really only a couple bills that were noteworthy that came over. The Senate bill, it was sort of a companion bill to our campaign finance reform bill. It came back over, but in a much, I don't know about, maybe not two muches, but one much weaker version. One of the notable changes in the bill, and it was Senate Bill 2689, was it allowed everybody to grandfather in all of their campaign funds.
Right. So whatever they have in their campaign account, our campaign accounts by January 1st, 2018, they can actually claim that money and retire with it.
That's right. So I didn't know this until I got down here. That's not a problem for neither Steve or I. We don't have
large
much funds in there. And for those of you that have contributed to us, we appreciate it, and we make a high priority.
Thanks for bringing that up, Dan, because largely the money that has been donated to Dan and my campaign has been from people like y'all that are watching this video. And we greatly appreciate your support because you're the people we're fighting for.
Right.
Special interest, not so much. We're fighting for the taxpayers of Mississippi because Dan and I know what it's like to live paycheck to paycheck. And we know that every penny counts.
Yeah, I worked for a church for 10 years. I know I wasn't getting rich.
Well, I thought you were paid in six figures.
Well, I working for the Lord, the pay's not necessarily great on earth, but the retirement plan is out of the world.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm on that plan too.
Yeah, but and so what funds that we do have, it does take quite a bit of additional monies to even be in office, and people don't realize that. It's not just about campaigning and buying signs and sending out mailers, but there are other legitimate expenses that we have to deal with that we're not reimbursed for.
Right.
That it comes down to that. So we appreciate it. But this particular bill.
Well, and to close on that, please support candidates that you really like.
Yeah.
I'm not putting a plea out for us. I'm just saying that if you see people that are really supporting you and who value freedom and liberty, support those candidates, even if it's $5.
Right.
Support those candidates because folks like us, we'd much rather get those checks from you guys because you're the ones we're fighting the most hard for.
And there is on the website, the Secretary of State's website, you can go and see how much money every candidate, every politician has in their account and how they spend it.
Right.
For all expenditures over $200. So there is some transparency there. I would say that if you do have a champion in either the House or the Senate, chances are they are going up against the machine And a lot of times when that happens, you don't make a lot of enemies from, you don't make a lot of friends necessarily from special interests. So having the support of people that believe in, what you're doing, it becomes even more critical. So,
Right. So thanks, y'all.
so thanks.
We appreciate y'all.
So basically, the Senate bill version, the big difference between what the House passed and what the Senate passed is it lets everybody grandfather in whatever they've got in their campaign fund up until January 1st of 2018.
Right.
And what that basically means is that when they no longer are seeking office, instead of the requirements that the House put into our version, they can just take it and pay taxes on it and keep it. So that's probably the most notable difference between those two bills. It did pass the House. It was one of those things. It was either you go for what reform you can get, because there was some good stuff in it.
And it's returned to the Senate for concurrence. And if they concur on our amended version, then it would go to the governor.
Right. That was really kind of one of the big bills from last week. I think the only other thing we were going to talk about was a bill that we've got on the calendar for this week, Senate Bill 2941. This is an interesting case in point to our video.
Did y'all notice that he talks even when I'm drinking water? Just
when we were talking last week about some of the repealers and some of the local taxes and local and private. We spoke about local and private. This is one that it was a local and private. It was a tourism tax on hotels in the town of Byhalia, Mississippi, up in North Mississippi. And basically, they had a referendum. The folks voted for it. It became a tax, and it got repealed. I don't know, once or twice, but last year it came back up for repealer. It was never taken up. So technically,
it died July 1st, 2016.
Right.
Well, the city kept collecting the tax. So there's a bill before us now to allow them to legally have that tax again, but to make it retroactive where all that tax money they can keep that was actually not legal for them to be collected.
The city never got the authority from the state or the legislature to continue to collect that tax. The whole reason you put a repealer on there is that eventually it will go away someday. And when it wasn't repealed, it should have gone away, but they continue to collect it. So now we're doing some retroactive, and that just hammers the point home that we believe these type of taxes should come back before you, the people, and the legislature shouldn't be circumventing them, especially in the case of a tax that legally died, should have gone away. If the city wants to keep it, they should go back before the people with the referendum, rather than having the legislature circumvent them again and retroactively say, yeah, that money you collected, you just keep it all. And
you keep hearing, oh, it's just pennies. It's just 1%. It's just pennies. Well, all this stuff adds up. We've said in a previous video, Dan, all the different taxes in Mississippi, there's over 100 of them. And when you add up what you actually pay in taxes, those 1% add up. Those pennies add up. And that takes away from money that you can spend on your own family.
Well, I'm doing my taxes right now, and it's pretty depressing because I work in Tennessee for a church, and they don't take any state tax out, and I have to always pay that at the end of the year. So usually, I never get anything back. I'm always paying. Well, I got to thinking about what I pay. Well, it's just federal tax, state tax, Social Security. And you think sometimes, well, how much did you pay in taxes? Well, you add up that. But you also need to add up what you're paying in property tax, car tax, gas tax, which, by the way, we never did update you last week. The bill that we had brought to your attention 2 weeks ago on the 411, which came out of the committee as a blank bill. It just opened up code sections for the cigarette tax, the gas tax. Thanks in part to a lot of you folks that are diligent.
Active. Thanks for being
Americans
active.
for Prosperity, they were here. A lot of people contacted their representation, and that sucker died.
Yep.
So
no gas tax 2 years in a row. Dan and I have came into this thing saying we're going to fight it. We do agree. Now, we do agree that we do need money for
Yes.
roads and bridges, because infrastructure is a vital part of government.
Absolutely.
What we, like I was doing timeout, what we believe though is we should find that money by cutting the size of government. We've got, like I've said in another video, we've got 1 in 5 people in Mississippi working for the government in some fashion. Government is too big. There's no such thing as a 100% efficient government. We need to downsize government and find the money that way to fix our roads and bridges. And I'm proud of the new president. He's doubled down on infrastructure for the country. It is a government function to keep our roads and bridges, airports and everything running. And I'm excited to see what Congress will do along those lines. But regardless of what they do, we need to live up to what we said we do, cut the size of government, look at ways to reduce taxes, and spend our money more efficiently for you.
And just to wrap up, if you add up all the taxes you pay, it's not just what you put on your 1040 at the end of the year. And we realize that. A penny here, a penny there, it winds up stripping the taxpayer of a lot of their wealth, especially the hardworking folks. That's pretty much it. That's all we've got for you. We hope that you'll keep the questions coming. Keep holding your representation accountable. Let them know what you think about the stuff that's coming on. And we also have the 2 videos on there that'll show you how to navigate the state website and how to read a bill. And you can be informed and take it directly to whoever you elected to represent you. And we'll catch you back here next week.
On Mississippi Forward.
1-1. God bless you.
Good week. Have a good week, everybody.